ever heard somebody talk about the pillar of fire at night and the pillar of cloud in the day in reference to the Old Testament and the people of Israel, and you're like, what? Well, we're going to be talking about that today from Exodus chapter 13. Hey guys, and welcome back to God's Word Made Simple by Simple Servant Ministries. My name is Aaron Hawk, and if this is your first time visiting with us, I just want to say welcome and thank you for joining us today. God's Word Made Simple is an online discipleship ministry dedicated to taking God's Word and making it simple. We want to help you understand God's Word, apply it to your life, and grow in your relationship with the Lord. And by the way, if you appreciate this ministry and content, at some point make sure and hit that subscribe button, turn that bell notification to all so you don't miss any future videos. We would love to have you as part of our family. Okay guys, welcome back. So if you haven't caught it before, I would definitely go back probably at least to chapter 13, at the beginning of chapter 13. I mean, ideally go back to the beginning of Exodus. So I'll just put the playlist here for Exodus, and really ideally, hey, go all the way back to Genesis. So I'll put that playlist there as well. But for today's purposes, at least go back to chapter 13, and you can kind of catch where we are or get caught up, whatever you want to say, understand what we're doing. So today, chapter 13, 17 through 14, verse 4. Specifically, we are talking about God leading the people through the wilderness initially, as well as kind of like in a good movie when you think the bad guy's done and then at the last minute they pop up again. Well, we're going to see Pharaoh do that, and we're going to have to deal with Pharaoh in the next video or two. So, a little foreshadowing there, but hey, join with me on chapter 13, verse 17. So now when Pharaoh had let the people go, God did not lead them by way of the land of the Philistines, even though it was near. So there were a couple of different ways to go, and God didn't lead them this one way because he knew the people would be afraid, which is crazy because they just finished looting Egypt, and yet God did the plagues in Egypt. He didn't conquer their military. Right? They still have full military strength, aside from the fact that they've been looted and their slaves walked out and they've lost faith and all that, or faith, no, not faith, face. They've lost face and all of that, right? But their military is still strong. And so the people haven't seen a military victory. So God is understanding this, and so he's like, okay, we won't go by the Philistines or they're going to get scared, the Aaron paraphrase, right? So now when Pharaoh had let the people go, God did not lead them by the way of the land of the Philistines, even though it was near. For God said the people might change their minds when they see war and return to Egypt. Now remember, these people really wouldn't have seen war. I mean, it's not that it wasn't possible for a slave or some slaves to have participated in some level of war, but the Egyptians primarily would have been the ones going to war and the slaves doing the work at home. So they really haven't been battle tested, is how we would say in more the modern era. And God understands this. Verse 18, hence God led the people around by the way of the wilderness to the Red Sea. And the sons of Israel went up in martial array from the land of Egypt. So these guys that have never done war before, they're like, well, let's form ranks and at least look like a military, right? I could make a lot of comments there, but I think your brain's probably filling that in. If you are a self-defense person, you know exactly the condition of the heart of the people that have never seen war and are playing war. God knew this, that's why he's leading them around the scary part. All right, then, kind of as a note in verse 19, Moses took the bones of Joseph with him, for he had made the sons of Israel solemnly swear, saying, God will surely take care of you, and you shall carry my bones from here with you. That was a promise that they made, so Moses ensured that that promise was kept. Then they set out from Succoth and camped in Etham on the edge of the wilderness. The Lord was going before them in a pillar of cloud by day to lead them on the way, and in a pillar of fire by night to give them light, that they might travel by day and by night. So God is with them. He's leading the way. It's not just Moses walking through claiming, hey, God said go this way. No, God actually, what's called manifested, it means to make real and tangible. God actually manifested his presence in a pillar of cloud and a pillar of fire. And we don't really know what that meant. Most movies, like the old Ten Commandments, they make it look like a tornado or something. We don't really know exactly what it looked like. It just says it was a pillar of cloud and a pillar of fire. Then verse 22, he did not take away the pillar of cloud by day, nor the pillar of fire by night from before the people. So he clearly wanted them to know, yes, I am with you. And not just words, but I'm actually physically present with you. And you need to know, this isn't Moses doing some parlor trick. This is the God of the universe that just defeated the Egyptians. But yet, as I gave you foreshadowing, they are not militarily defeated yet. So starting chapter 14, just into the first 4 verses. Now the Lord spoke to Moses, saying, tell the sons of Israel to turn back and camp before Pi-hahiroth. I've told you guys before, you'll hear it again, don't worry about murdering names and things like that. It's been forever since I've studied Hebrew, so I don't remember how to pronounce all of these things perfectly. That's not the point. Just get to the point. Between Migdol and the sea, you shall camp in front of Baal-zephon, opposite it by the sea. For Pharaoh will say of the sons of Israel, they are wandering aimlessly in the land. The wilderness has shut them in. So God is actually baiting Pharaoh. He's actually baiting him, right? He's like, yeah, Pharaoh's going to hear the report that they went over here, they went around the dangerous part, then they went back over here. He's going to think, yeah, those people are just aimlessly lost. Their God has abandoned them. They have no hope. I will go and take victory again. God is baiting Pharaoh. Because again, remember earlier in the story, I don't remember exactly where it was, but earlier in the story, God said that he raised Pharaoh up specifically to demonstrate his power. Well, he certainly did, but he's not done yet. And again, like we've talked about in our series, there is a combination of God's sovereignty and human responsibility. Pharaoh is hardening his own heart, and yet God is working in the way that only God can as well. So verse 4, thus I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he will chase after them, and I will be honored through Pharaoh and all his army. So now God is going to lead to a military victory as well. So there is no doubt in Egypt, there is no doubt in Israel, and there is no doubt in all the land surrounding them, the Philistines that are nearby, the scary, dangerous part, right? Nobody would have any doubt that that God not only is the God of plagues, but the God of the military. So now they're going to, I'm foreshadowing, I'm telling you, spoiler, he's going to militarily defeat Egypt as well. So he's baiting him. He says, I will be honored through Pharaoh and all his army, and the Egyptians will know that I am the Lord, and they did so. So I hate to leave you on this cliffhanger, but I don't want these videos to be too terribly long, so we will pick back up next week. So that said, hey, make sure you hit like, hit that subscribe button, turn that bell notification to all so you don't miss any future videos, including the resolution to the cliffhanger. Of course, you can read on your own, but why wouldn't you want to come and join me again? So, guys, on a serious note, all my joking and silliness aside, you know, we really appreciate you, every single person that subscribes. We appreciate you very much because you're validating to me that this channel has value, that there is something going on here that you appreciate. So I really appreciate it, as well as comments. So anything down in the comments that you want to share or question, please do so. And also, you know, check out my series, The Commands of Christ. I'll put the playlist there. Check out that series and, you know, let me know your thoughts there as well. I hope to encourage you through this ministry and help you draw nearer to the Lord. All right, guys, that's it for today. Thank you very much, and God bless.